any marketer who's not innovating, testing, and using data to drive better results is going to be left behind.
Joining me at the Speaker's Corner, powered by the New York Stock Exchange here at Possible, is Kevin Dunn. He is the SVP of Brands for LiveRamp. Kevin, fantastic to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So, Kevin, tell me, what excites you most about being at Possible this year?
When I think about this is a 3-year-old conference, I think at this point, and just the amount of people who are here from all different parts of the industry, having really powerful conversations and making new connections. And so when I talk to people, the things that are coming up is how are we going to continue to grow our businesses during time of uncertainty? Where are things that I should be concentrating on? What can things like AI do to sort of bolster my efficiency? So I'm excited to have those conversations and meet people from so many different parts of the business, publishers, brands, and people like yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So let's talk about cookies.
Cookies. Yum.
So now that cookies are officially here to stay, how is LiveRamp changing its strategy? And what advice can you give marketers on their approach to targeting and measurement?
Well, one, we're celebrating the end of the cookie apocalypse. We had ups and downs and ups and downs, but I'd say LiveRamp is not changing our strategy, right? I think if you've talked to us over the last 4 to 5 years, and even before that, we've been preparing for a world of no cookies. And you can think most of the open web is already cookieless, right? And so if I'm a marketer, I want to continue to go down the path of ensuring that if I'm going to reach the customers who I want to reach, there's much more beyond cookies, right? Cookies is one small part of the open web. But if I want to really be able to reach my customers wherever they're spending time and really measure the effectiveness of what they're doing, I got to be already preparing for a world beyond cookies. And at LiveRamp, we really believe in sort of an ecosystem that's based on trust with the consumer and authenticated sort of abilities of interaction with them. And so if I'm a marketer, I'm not changing my strategy. I should already be thinking about how I'm reaching my consumers in places that are beyond cookies. And I'm continuing to double down on that strategy.
Now, the advertising industry is hearing more and more about data collection or collaboration. Data collaboration.
Yeah, the hot word.
So explain that to me.
Yeah. I mean, when I think about data collaboration, I think about there's now technologies in place that allow us to do things as marketers that we've been trying to do for a very long time. I've been in the marketing space for well over 15 years, and this thought of second-party data is something that has been there for a very long time. You see it with partnerships like Amex and Delta, Hilton and Avis, right? They're already sort of sharing data together. Imagine all the partnerships that we can now enter into with this comfortability, this privacy safe and permission-based environment where brands can share data and create new audiences, new use cases, new partnerships, and eventually sort of new revenue streams, which is really what it's all about. So when I think about data collaboration, it's just now there's technology that allow companies to do things they've been thinking about doing for a very long time. But because companies are concerned about privacy, they're concerned about safety of use of data, they never entered into these partnerships. And now there's technology that allows them to do that very easily.
Kevin, what are clean rooms and what role do they play in modern marketing?
They're the enabler for modern marketing use cases. So let's think about measurement as sort of the marquee use case for clean rooms. When I want to reach out to my consumers, the customer journey is no longer linear, meaning at any time I'm interacting with a brand in my social account or in my CTV account or on the open web, and I want to be able to understand that customer journey. I want all that information in a place where as a marketer, I can act on it in real time. So clean rooms allow me access to that data so I can do things like optimize my campaign in real time, change my strategy immediately with premium publishers. And if you think about premium publishers are like a Meta or a Pinterest or a Snapchat, for a long time, they've held on to that data set, right? And now they're more and more comfortable because of technology like clean rooms that allow that data to be shared. And what a clean room does from a technical perspective, it allows the sharing of data without moving the data set and allows the data to be shared with permissioning and controls on both sides. So both sides can set the rules of how they're comfortable with sharing data.
And how is LiveRamp powering retail media and helping brands win at the point of sale?
So retail media is obviously a phenomenon, right? We've seen it grow immensely. And now we're actually seeing many, many other entries into the retail media space, PayPal, Chase, United, for example. But if you think about what retail media is, it's the ability for retailers to share and be transparent with their CPG partners for the most part, what's happening in the store. So if I'm a brand, say like a P&G or a Mondelez, I want to understand what's happening to my consumers when they're coming into you as a retailer, right? So there's a great case study that we talk about all the time with Triscuits, Albertsons, and Pinterest. And as Triscuit, I want to understand what's happening when I put all those recipe cards in front of you on Pinterest, right? And I want to be able to now, when I go into a store, understand, is Judy a first time Triscuit buyer? Does she buy Triscuits just seasonally when she's having family over? And how do I get her to keep coming back to buy more Triscuits? And, you have these two conflicting forces. On the retail side, you have rich transactional data that they don't necessarily want to share because they want to be true to their consumers and respect their privacy. But on the other side, you have CPGs with rich media spend dollars that they want to use to drive more consumer interactions. And clean rooms and LiveRamp allow these two to interact in a way that makes them both comfortable. So retailers can share that transaction data with their CPG partners, and CPGs can feel comfortable what the media dollars they're spending are driving true incrementality of the campaign that they're running. And that's the power of LiveRamp and clean rooms, is we can help brands truly understand the incrementality of their ad spend. And if you think about sort of a time that we're in today as marketers, right, every dollar we spend needs to be actionable and measurable and really drive results for my business.
And how is LiveRamp helping clients with their privacy goals?
Privacy is an interesting topic, right? Because we have so many different privacy rules. We have state by state rules. We have different rules in different parts of the world. And what LiveRamp does from a privacy perspective is we allow your data to be shared with consumer consent in an anonymous fashion that allows you to follow all the different privacy rules in place. We can give you guidance on how to sort of set up your privacy policies so that you're collecting consumer consent in a way that's true to the law, but also to this belief we have that consumers should have a transparent relationship with the people that they're sharing their data with and know what it's being used for, and sort of enter this ecosystem of a joint value exchange handshake where they know what their data is doing and the outcomes that it's driving for them. And so anyone who's sort of concerned about privacy can always talk to LiveRamp about how they should be setting up their data, how they should be using the data, and how they should be providing that consumer consent for the use of that data.
All right. And finally, Kevin, advertising. It's one of the many industries facing challenges from economic uncertainty right now. So what's your advice to brand marketers whose CEOs may be telling them to cut costs?
I'd say marketers are probably going to have that, to your point, cut costs. I'd say any marketer who's not innovating, testing, and using data to drive better results is going to be left behind. And so if I'm a marketer today, I'm pushing all of my partners for more transparency on the outcomes that are driven from my media dollars. I'm setting up rich attribution and measurement incrementality models so I know what my dollars have being driven. And every dollar I spend has to be driving an outcome. And so I'm optimizing my campaigns in real time based on, who's actually purchased things. I'm suppressing audiences, so I'm not wasting media dollars on sending Kevin the same ad twice or Judy the same ad twice. And so I'm innovating, testing, and learning and measuring every dollar that goes out the door.
All right. Well, Kevin, fantastic to have you here at the Speaker's Corner. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Judy.